This is our bite-sized podcast, keeping you up to date with the latest in science fiction. It's the news with Matt Miller.
Welcome. It's Friday, the 15th of January, 2021. Can you buy me a coffee, please? Support Trekzone at the Trekzone/support. Now, let's dive in. Star Trek Going Quiet leads our news this week after the marathon that was Lower Decks for 10 episodes and Discovery's third season at 13. We have no new Trek to talk about for a little while. However, work has begun on Disco's fourth season, Lower Decks' second, the Michelle Yeoh-led Section 31, the Anson Mount-led Strange New Worlds, as well as Kate Mulgrew and the team at Prodigy getting underway as well. It's all part of Paramount Plus's Wall of Star Trek, much the same as Disney Plus seems to be doing with Star Wars. Now, speaking of that other franchise, Lucasfilm Games has announced a new direction and era for Star Wars games, with the doors swinging open to developers who want to play in their sandbox. Already an open-world story-driven game is on the horizon from Ubisoft's Swedish outfit Massive Entertainment, and Electronic Arts, following their reinvigoration of Battlefront, the awesome Jedi Fallen Order, and Star Wars Squadrons, will have a future. Lucasfilm Games VP Douglas Riley said, quote, "Our relationship has never been stronger." Plus, in the best news from this press release, the classic Lucasfilm Games branding will return as the studio works on these new projects. In Star Trek fan film news, Aaron Vanderkley has announced the cast that will lead his much-anticipated return to the fan film circuit. Maximilian Lamont, Karen Cowie, Jason Birch, and Adam Poole will star in Beyond the Sun, the first of 3 stories set in the Voyager-era from the Perth filmmaker. A routine rescue mission places Starfleet in a moral quandary between faith and science. That's the tagline. Aaron telling Trekzone exclusively last week that COVID-19 quarantine had forced him to think about the return and gave him the impetus to write the script in just a few weeks. Talkin' Science returns on Feb 2, but in the meantime, and while I ask where are Star Trek fan filmmakers now, let's bring you some science and space news headlines. Blue Origin has taken another giant leap toward human spaceflight with the successful suborbital test flight of its upgraded New Shepard spacecraft. The reusable craft launched to an altitude just over 350,000 feet before a powered vertical touchdown in the landing zone while the capsule kissed the ground, thanks to successful parachute deployment. The CIA's declassified UFO documents have made it into an online repository, with the Black Vault now containing searchable PDFs from a CD-ROM the US spy agency created after almost a quarter century of freedom of information requests. There's some fascinating info now online. We'll never know if that's all of it. And finally, here at home, Aussie satellite startup Fleet Space Technologies has partnered with the universities of Adelaide and New South Wales, plus Oz Minerals, Fugro, Unearthed and Tyvak Australia to get a mission together to the moon. The Seven Sisters Australian Lunar Exploration Mission aims to develop new resource and exploration techniques for Earth, the Moon and Mars, of course working in with NASA's Artemis program. This news comes after the recent announcement of a sovereign-developed mission to the moon for Australia. Well, we're 2 weeks into 2021 here at Trekzone, 9 episodes into 350. This week, we've caught up on that time when Jason Isaacs and Anson Mount spoke with me. We caught up with Gary Davis and asked him, "Where are you now?" And I've continued playing through Star Trek, the 25th anniversary edition. And strap yourselves in because this podcast party is just getting started. Coming up next week, we remind you of that time when I played a final Unity. Nick Cook from Starship Intrepid beams in to tell us where he is now. Lee Sargent and I dive into The Mandalorian's awesome second season. 2 more missions from the 25th anniversary game, the news, and that time when Tim Russ dropped by. Well, don't miss a moment. Like, follow, and subscribe to Trekzone all over social media. Can you maybe buy me a coffee or yourself a membership? Jump over to the Trekzone/support and have a look at the options there. You'll be supporting the world's only daily science, space, and sci-fi podcast network. What's your best news of the week? Let me know in the comments. For Trekzone, I'm Matt Miller.